Hello and welcome to another video at the Dark Yard. Today I'm going to show you an easy step-by-step process how I wired our two DC motors to a speed controller, an on-off switch, and a 12-volt battery using lever nut wire connectors. So let's make it happen. Okay, here's the materials we're going to need for this project. We have two brushless gear reduction motors with the skateboard wheels that I attached. We have a 12-volt battery that's going to power the whole project. We have a speed controller with the speed dial, speed display, forward and reverse, and two sets of positive and negative terminals. We have an RF switch with two sets of positive and negative terminals. That's going to turn the whole project off and on, along with the remote control it has. We have a box of heat shrink connectors for our wires. We have a box of lever nut connectors to splice the wires together. We have two sets. We have 3-port systems and 2-port systems we're going to use. We have our 14 American wire gauge cable, or AWG cable, throughout our whole project. We have a heat gun that's going to heat the wire connectors throughout our project. And we have an old looking screwdriver from maybe the 1970s. We have 4 sets of cables that we're going to use. The first has fork connectors on one side, exposed wires on the other. Second has exposed wires on both sides. And the third has fork connectors on both sides. And our fourth set has fork connectors on one side and spade connectors on the other that's going to attach to our 12-volt battery. And lastly, we have our wire strippers or wire cutters. So I'm going to show you how we made our connectors first. We take our 14 setting of our wire cutters, we strip off a little bit of the protective coating off our cable, and then we get our fork connector and we take our heat gun and heat shrink it until it's connected. Then you have a secure connection. Okay, and this is what the whole thing looks like with our motors, and we're going to start with motor number 1. Each motor has a positive and negative cable. Each one gets a 2-port connector. You open up the ports, you place them in, and you close them. Okay, now let's start with motor number 2. Motor number 2 has 2 cables, positive and negative, and each one gets its own 3-port lever nut connector. Now, I like these lever nut connectors better than wire nut connectors because with the wire nut connectors, you have to twist all your wires together and get them inside the nut for a connection. With the lever nut connectors, you can just put them inside the ports, close them up, and you have your connection. Next, we're going to take our cable with exposed wiring on both sides, and we're going to take one side and complete the connectors of motor number 1. So now motor number 1 is complete, and you have to keep the positives separate from the negatives again. Okay, and that's what that looks like so far. Then we're going to take the other side, and we're going to find 2 more ports of the positive and negative of motor number 2. Close them up, and that's what that looks like so far. Then we're going to take our cable with exposed wiring on one side and 4 connectors on the other. And we're going to put the exposed wiring in the remaining ports of our 3-port connectors for motor number 2. And then motor number 2 connection is now complete. And that's what that looks like so far, the whole thing. Then we're going to take the other side with the 4 connectors. We're going to find 2 terminals on your speed controller, positive and negative, and we're going to secure those. And that's what that looks like so far. Next, we're going to take our cables with 4 connectors on both sides, and we're going to attach one set to the output terminals of our RF switch, to the positive and negative. We're going to take the other side of those connectors and we're going to attach them to the remaining 2 terminals of our speed controller. And now our speed controller setup is complete. Next, we're going to take our final cable that has spade connectors on one side for the battery and 4 connectors on the other, and we're going to place the 4 connectors in the remaining 2 terminals of our RF switch, which are the input terminals. We're going to take the other side and connect it to our 12-volt battery. And now our project has power, and it's time to see if this works. Now let's use our RF switch remote to turn the motors on. And they're working, all right. So now we have 2 motors working, they're synchronized. They're both controlled by the RF switch to turn them on and off. And they're also controlled by the speed controller to control what speed you want, and also to put them in forward and reverse. So that's what we're going to try now. Let's put this in reverse and hit the remote again, turn it on, and it looks like they're working. All right, so now we can go in reverse. And that's how you wire 2 motors to a speed controller, RF switch, and a 12-volt battery. This can be used for many applications. We're using it for the ride cart of our 2025 Halloween Dark Ride. So many more videos to come. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.